When the news broke that Kim Go-eun had made a large and unpublicized donation to a social cause, the entire Korean entertainment world paused. The story spread rapidly across news portals, social media, and fan communities, transforming what was meant to be a quiet act of generosity into one of the most discussed stories of the month. But what makes this particular donation stand out? Why did Kim Go-eun's gesture strike such a chord with fans, industry insiders, and even people who aren't usually interested in celebrity news? To understand the magnitude of this story, we need to look at who Kim Go-eun really is, the context behind her donation, and the way her actions continue to define her place in Korean entertainment. Kim Go-eun is known to the public as one of South Korea's most talented and versatile actresses. From her debut in the critically acclaimed film A Muse to her global recognition in hit dramas like Goblin and Little Women, she has built a career rooted in artistic credibility, range, and quiet authenticity. Unlike many stars who dominate headlines through luxury endorsements and viral controversies, Kim Go-eun has cultivated a reputation built on humility, depth, and introspection. It's precisely because of this reputation that her recent act of generosity resonated so deeply. According to reports, Kim Go-eun recently donated a significant sum to support vulnerable groups in South Korea, including children in need, elderly individuals living alone, and families struggling with the rising costs of living. What caught the attention of many was that the donation was not promoted by her agency, nor was it attached to any event or publicity campaign. In fact, the news came to light only after the charity organization itself released a brief statement acknowledging her contribution. This revelation immediately went viral. Within hours, Korean and international media began covering the story, and social networks flooded with reactions from fans expressing admiration and surprise. But more than just a generous act, people saw in Kim Go-eun's decision a reflection of her character and her ongoing pattern of quietly supporting social causes behind the scenes. To fully understand this moment, it's important to note that this isn't the first time Kim Go-eun has made a donation. Over the years, she has contributed to various organizations, often doing so privately. Her philanthropic history includes donations to disaster relief funds, children's hospitals, mental health programs, and cultural preservation projects. These gestures have rarely been publicized, largely because she prefers to act discreetly, avoiding the spotlight that often accompanies celebrity charity. What makes this particular case different is how it spread. Fans initially learned about it through a charity foundation's thank you post, which mentioned that Kim Go-eun had requested her contribution be used specifically for programs helping underprivileged youth access education and counseling services. The post quickly began circulating on online forums and social platforms, where fans began compiling a list of her previous charitable acts. What started as a single piece of news grew into a wider narrative, the rediscovery of Kim Go-eun's consistent record of generosity. Analysts in the entertainment industry have pointed out that Kim Go-eun's quiet philanthropic approach contrasts sharply with a trend of celebrity-driven charity events that are often linked to branding strategies or product endorsements. In a landscape where public image and marketing are tightly intertwined, Go-eun's decision to give without fanfare has made her stand out even more. It's this authenticity that has amplified the public's reaction, reinforcing her reputation as one of the few major stars whose off-screen actions align perfectly with her on-screen persona. Her fans, both in South Korea and abroad, have been particularly vocal about how this moment reaffirms their admiration. Online communities dedicated to Kim Go-eun have seen thousands of new posts discussing not just the donation, but what it says about her personality and values. Some fans have even started donation drives in her honor, pledging to contribute to similar causes as a way to continue the positive chain reaction her act inspired. Media outlets were quick to follow the viral wave, with several Korean talk shows and entertainment news programs discussing Kim Go-eun's donation as an example of genuine philanthropy in a highly commercialized industry. Commentators noted that her actions send a message about responsibility and empathy at a time when celebrity culture often revolves around consumption, fame, and visibility. Behind the scenes, people who have worked with Kim Go-eun describe her as someone deeply aware of the world beyond entertainment. They recall her habit of asking about the crew's well-being on set, her interest in social issues, and her tendency to stay out of unnecessary drama. Colleagues have often mentioned that she reads widely and spends much of her personal time in reflection or volunteering, rather than attending high-profile events. Her agency, BH Entertainment, confirmed the donation but did so in an understated manner. Their official statement read, "Kim Go-eun has continuously supported causes that she cares about. She prefers to contribute quietly and hopes that her actions may bring small comfort to those in need." The simplicity of the statement mirrored her personality, calm, sincere, and unembellished. Interestingly, this wave of attention has also reignited discussions about the evolving role of public figures in South Korea's modern society. In recent years, Korean celebrities have increasingly used their platforms to speak out about mental health, inequality, and social responsibility. However, there remains a delicate balance between genuine advocacy and performative gestures. Kim Go-eun's recent donation has been seen as a model of how to navigate this terrain with integrity. Observers have also highlighted the timing of the donation. It reportedly occurred just as Kim Go-eun wrapped up filming her latest project, You and Everything Else, a drama exploring complex emotional and ethical themes. Many have speculated that working on a series that deals with loss, morality, and human connection may have deepened her sense of empathy and influenced her decision to give. While she has not commented directly on this, those familiar with her work process say she often channels her experiences into her actions, viewing her career not just as art, but as a reflection of life. Financially, the donation was described as substantial, though the exact figure has not been disclosed. What is known is that it was large enough to make a tangible impact on the charity's ongoing initiatives. But beyond the amount, what makes this story remarkable is how it reshaped public perception, not through luxury or fame, but through quiet influence and moral leadership. Even as the news continues to circulate, Kim Go-eun herself has remained silent on the matter. She has not issued a personal statement or appeared in interviews to discuss it. This silence has only added to the intrigue, as fans and journalists interpret it as consistent with her desire to keep the focus on the cause rather than on herself. It also reinforces the idea that true generosity requires no announcement, something rare in today's digital age. The viral nature of the story also reflects how audiences today are increasingly drawn to authenticity. In a media landscape filled with sensationalism, scandals, and carefully crafted personas, Kim Go-eun's sincerity stands out as refreshing and real. Her donation became more than an act of giving. It became a symbol of grounded humanity in an industry built on spectacle. As conversations around her donation continue to spread internationally, some fans have begun translating Korean articles into English, Japanese, and other languages to share her story with a global audience. The hashtags #KimGoeunDonation and #KindGoeun trended across multiple platforms, showing just how far her influence extends beyond her acting work. Industry insiders suggest that this moment may mark a turning point in how stars approach philanthropy in the Korean entertainment industry. Instead of grand gestures designed for publicity, more artists may choose to follow Kim Go-eun's lead, supporting causes quietly, letting actions speak for themselves, and allowing the public to discover these deeds organically. Meanwhile, organizations that have previously worked with Kim Go-eun describe her as consistent and thoughtful in her approach. One charity official mentioned that she often follows up on how her donations are used, showing genuine interest in the outcomes rather than treating them as one-time contributions. They described her as someone who doesn't just give money. She listens, learns, and wants to understand how to help better. Her fans continue to collect stories of her kindness, uncovering older reports of her helping animal shelters, contributing to scholarship programs, and even supporting cultural initiatives designed to give opportunities to aspiring actors and filmmakers. What's becoming clear is that this latest donation is not an isolated event, but part of a long-standing pattern of quiet philanthropy that reflects who Kim Go-eun truly is. The irony is that her attempt to avoid attention has had the opposite effect. By refusing to make her donation public, she's captured even more admiration and respect. It's a reminder that authenticity remains one of the most powerful tools a public figure can wield. As the news continues to circulate, There's also growing interest in how this renewed attention might influence Kim Go-eun's upcoming projects. Some speculate that her reputation for sincerity and compassion may attract directors looking for emotional depth and realism in their storytelling. Others believe it could lead to more ambassador roles for humanitarian organizations, though whether she would accept such positions remains uncertain. Regardless of what happens next, one thing is clear: Kim Go-eun's impact extends far beyond acting. Her recent donation has revealed not just a generous act, but a pattern of genuine care that has been consistent throughout her career. It has reinforced her image as someone grounded in empathy, humility, and awareness, traits that resonate powerfully in a culture that increasingly values authenticity over perfection. The story of Kim Go-eun's donation is ultimately not about money or fame. It's about influence used responsibly, kindness that multiplies, and the reminder that even in an industry obsessed with image, there are still individuals whose true character speaks louder than any headline. And as fans continue to celebrate her on screen and off, one thing has become undeniable. Kim Go-eun's greatest role may not be the one she plays in dramas, but the one she continues to live every day, quietly making a difference, one thoughtful action at a time.